And make sure you guys give kcsmurf and theDreamKing a follow as well as
I guess we're
Mario.
starting?
Guess we're starting. They're all great runners, and we'll see.
Yeah, this has everything to be a close, very good match. I think they both have the same setup, judging by the load times.
Yeah.
So good luck to the runners, and I hope you enjoy the runs and the commentary. So in Bloodborne, we go off in-game time to determine the leaderboards, and we're also gonna do this here. And again, you don't see a timer above theDreamKing's stream because he's streaming directly from the PS4, and there's no way to capture live split. Well, DK had a...
Let's hope KC gets away from the wolf.
This wolf, a famous run killer. So I assume both runners are gonna go for the 10 Molotovs. Yeah. 10 Molotovs are really, really handy against Gascoigne.
Yeah. Something of note, if you've ever played Bloodborne, or even if you've never played, there's an optional boss you can go to called the Cleric Beast. We'll be skipping that for now. We'll be coming back later in the run for it. We'll be going to the first boss, Gascoigne.
Yeah. Shoutouts to the Speed Gaming crew for hosting this event and helping us out with the setup.
Yeah, and shout out to newbie Source Rex. He put a lot of work and time into getting this thing started. Now here's the first divergence. DK will be picking up 2 weapons, whereas kcsmurf will only be picking up 1 since he's going to get the Saw Spear.
Yeah, and you saw them both get the threaded cane because it will be used later on in the run for a very neat skip.
How does that work? Could you explain how you pick up 2?
It works by kind of trick the game of thinking that you didn't pick up a weapon, because if you picked up the saw cleaver too fast, that's the trick. You gotta pick up the cleaver fast. A lot of people say you gotta mash it, but that only makes you more. It makes more possible to get gestures, which is something we might see in here.
I think they're both gonna try.
So yeah, the routes are gonna diverge here again because KC is going for his beloved Saw Spear, and DK is gonna attempt the Sewer Skip. He got it. So the way Sewer Skip works is you jump at the fence, aiming on one of the pillars. You can try to get it without a quit out by mashing the plunge button, which is R1 or R2, and you might get a plunge attack and land on the fence, allowing you to skip the whole sewers area that KC is going through right now, and DK performs it perfectly. Doesn't get immune by the dog. The dog's a really annoying time killer.
I think I heard that Sewer Skip saves around 40 seconds if you get it first try.
Yeah, that's right.
So it can save quite a bit of time if you get it first or second try.
Yeah, it's a really good time save.
Otherwise, you'd have to do what kcsmurf did, except you wouldn't get the Saw Spear.
So DK entering the Gascoigne fight. Really tough boss. Classic run killer. So hopefully he'll manage the fight. KC approaching the boss fight right now.
The strat for Gascoigne, you want to be on the stairs because elevation gives you an advantage, I know.
Exactly. The advantage it gives is sometimes you can strafe Gascoigne's gunshots because of the elevation. the different elevation of the stairs. And not to mention, fighting him on the graveyard itself would be very painful because of all the gravestones. So he doesn't have doesn't have any places to go. Fighting him enclosed on the stairs. Good fight for DK. Just finish it off with a parry and a repost. GG, Gascoigne is no more. KC also on a pretty decent fight.
Do you want to explain why they're throwing Molotovs at him sometimes and why they're attacking normally other times?
Gascoigne, on the second phase, on the first phase, he staggers when most of the time when you throw a Molotov. So you're able to combo him more, and it's really good DPS when you're combining this with R1, L1 of either the Saw Cleaver for DK and the Saw Spear for KC. So it's just really good DPS overall. And they also can get a double damage Molotov by throwing a Molotov on a certain window between the phase transition.
Is that the one where it transforms into a wolf beast thing?
Exactly. And they can get the damage from the Molotov twice, which is really helpful.
So
KC
just picked up the Hunter's set, and they're using that to they're only going to equip the hat. Well, KC's equipping them all. But you equip that set because it provides higher beasthood, which is what you get from using beast blood pellets, which you basically use against all the bosses, and it increases your damage the higher the meter goes, but you'll take more damage the higher the meter goes. So you're pretty much acting like a glass cannon.
DK taking the safe strat there, throwing a Molotov at the dog. Alright, Cathedral Ward dogs were beaten. That's another really famous run killer.
Meme dogs. And KC and DK both just picked up fire paper to help with the next boss. If you've ever played Dark Souls, it's like pine resin, where it adds a fire buff to your weapon to deal additional damage. There's only two in the game, which are lightning and fire, and once they get to a certain part of the game, they'll only be using the lightning bolt paper because it's the best in terms of dealing damage to bosses.
So we're approaching Old Yarnum Skip right now for DK, and also KC. They're neck to neck.
So
Only difference pretty much was KC getting the Saw Spear. Oh, gets the lamp as well in case he dies.
DK doing old Yarnum Skip.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, that is one of the safest versions of the skip. There are a bunch of ways of when he misses. Ooh. That is unfortunate.
That's gonna cost some time.
Yeah, missing that and going back is about 30 seconds time loss. Sorry.
Looks like KC is also doing the old Yarnum Skip. There's a new skip that was found by Giant Cookie Jar. He's another good runner. He found a lot of the skips. They're both going the safe way.
Let's see if KC gets the old Yarnum Skip. Alright, perfect.
There we go.
DK didn't take any chances there. Stopped and rolled. So right now, pretty much the time loss that KC had getting the Saw Spear was neglected since he got the skip first try. And now they really are neck to neck, boys.
And you have to remember, DK quit out for the sewer skip that he got first try. So
that's true.
KC might be ahead right now. We'll have to check at the end, but right now I'm thinking KC's a little bit ahead of.
Yeah, they're neck to neck still.
KC, but yeah, they're still really close.
So you saw them pick up the Beast Blood Pellet, which is the most important item of this run. Like Fashion Frame said earlier, it gives you gives you about 70% more damage as you complete the full bar, but you also take damage, so it's kind of a risk-reward kind of thing.
And they just both threw an usable item called a pungent blood cocktail, and basically they throw it at a corner in the wall, and the Bloodscarred Beast chases it and pretty much leaves you alone. And that's why they're able to get off a bunch of damage and fill up the blood meter, the beast hood meter, to deal all this damage and kill it without taking a hit.
Yeah. And if you're wondering the weapon choice for being Saw Cleaver or Saw Spear, they're both very similar, but normally you would get the Saw Cleaver. It's a very fast weapon with very little stamina consumption, and not to mention it's buffable, so you can use Bolt Paper and Fire Paper. Fire Paper being really good against beast enemies, which a couple of bosses in the game are. And it adds a flat damage, doesn't matter if they're resistant or weak to the elemental buff. And also it deals serrated damage to beasts, which definitely helps with bosses such as Bloodstarved Beast early on and Bloodwig later on. KC going for an interesting route here around the Healing Church Workshop.
He's going for the Crystal Wizards of Bloodborne.
Yeah. So you saw DK also drop to the Abandoned Hunter Workshop to get the 1/3 of Umbilical Cord and the Doll Set. The Umbilical Cord being to summon the last fight of the game, Moon Presence, and the Doll Set sells for 35,000 souls, which allows you to get really strong for some pretty tough bosses. Going. Loki's DreamKing approaching the back of Cathedral Ward.
And I believe they're both going to try and do ladder skip.
Yeah, the ladder
or the ladder warp.
Yeah. And yes, this does not include Chalice dungeons. They're only the vanilla game bosses. So what you saw DK do is called a ladder warp. It didn't really warp right now, but he's going to. So what that does is he cancels the animation of climbing up the ladder with whatever animation he can do at the time, like using an item, transforming his weapon, which is what most people do. OKC shot his pistol to cancel the animation. So what that does is that saves your position at the ladder, and the game thinks you're still on the ladder just all the time until you quit out. When you quit out, doesn't matter where in the Bloodborne world you are, except if you went through any loading screens or cutscenes. I'm not sure. No, cutscenes don't reset the position. But
loading screen, then it won't work.
Yeah, the loading screens are what's gonna reset. So DK having tough time with Amelia. I think he didn't get the repost.
I don't think he got the.
Pretty scary if you don't run strat. Amelia going
down. The strategy is their Amelia Vicar is a beast, and so all her limbs are staggerable. So you're going to stagger the limbs and then deal damage, and then move to the other side and continue doing that until she's dead, pretty much.
Yeah. So DK managed to kill Amelia. Quite the fight. I think that's gonna cost him about 40 seconds, I'd say. So you'll see DK quit out right now, and that's gonna put him on the ladder where he canceled the animation. Same thing for KC. When they load in the game again, you'll see they're gonna spawn at the ladder. That was a scary Amelia fight. The Amelia fight is very consistent on the speedrun. The strategy was found by QTT6. And it's basically a very mechanic execution. I think DK got unlucky by not getting the repost for whatever reason. It might have been too far away from Amelia's head. I don't really see.
So what DK just picked up is twin bloodstone shards, and if you played Dark Souls, it's equivalent to the Titanite shards, the large Titanite shards actually, and it's going to allow them to upgrade their weapon. And one of the things here is that in Bloodborne, levels aren't everything. A plus 10 weapon with the right gems will deal a lot of damage, regardless of what level you're at. So
that's true. And in this game, there's only one upgrade path, so all weapons just upgrade with blood shards, and twin blood shards, and later on with chunks.
And rocks. Yeah,
rocks being the plus 10 upgrade.
The big difference here is that you have socketable gems that they'll pick up, and they do various things. There's a million different gems to choose from, but the ones they're going to get are plus 15, plus 18, and plus 18% flat damage.
And that is where
most of the damage comes from.
Yeah, that plus the Beast Blood pellet.
As you see DK doing now, he's upgrading it, and then he's going to socket in the gold blood gem that you get from killing Vicar Amelia and popping the item she gives you.
Yeah, he's equipping that because he's gonna fight Parl right now, which is a beast, and the buff that the gem gives is increased damage against beast. I believe it's 12%. I could be mistaken.
I think it's 12.
But it's very good to have against Parl. And if you're wondering why they do Parl right now, it's because by doing that, you not only save time overall, but you also don't need to do a skip that we're going to see later on twice. And that skip is kind of dangerous, can be a run killer.
Also, before you guys say rip run, this is an intentional death.
Yeah. This is the fastest way to get to Yahargo early, is by dying to a bagman. And KC getting an unfortunate attack.
And what they do right before to lose more health so that they die in one hit is they make blood quicksilver bullets using their health. That way they just have less health and die quicker.
Yep. Shoutouts to this Hex, who's in chat right now. He found this strat about a year ago, and very good strat. It developed the fastest route we have right now, which is called Early Parl. And they also gonna have access to Bolt Paper for ROM and Shadows of Yharnam, which is very, very handy. Makes the ROM fight much comfier. You one-shot the spiders from the beginning. I believe some math was done and found that the two melee shadows, they are weak to bolt on a certain degree. So very good for the end of the shadows fight.
And the strategy for Parl here is similar to Vicar Amelia, where you just stagger the leg, you just get them to fall over a bunch of times, and you just keep wailing away at it, and he'll eventually go down.
And doesn't matter which route you do, if you do classic Saw Spear, if you do early Parl, if you do early DLC, Parl doesn't stand a chance. It just doesn't. Rip Parl. So now both runners are gonna go back to the Dream to get some bolt paper and head to the Forbidden Woods to fight Shadows, which is probably the spookiest, one of the spookiest fights. You see them getting a couple of blood vials as well. Oh, I think KC's gonna upgrade his weapon further actually for Shadows and Rom. That's interesting. Is he gonna? Is he not gonna get? Oh, he's gonna get the bolt paper with inside. Okay. So DK killing the lizard, the Wandering Nightmare. Is that the name? I think that's the name. To get more shards, and he's gonna get some more along the way. This Beastman pretty spooky as well. If he gives you the wrong attack, you're doomed. I think it's a one-shot because you're always sprinting there to get the pellets as quick as possible.
DK and kcsmurf are going to be doing the Forbidden Wood skip, which is one of the easiest skips in the book.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot to mention because
it skips a large portion of the Forbidden Woods area, and it's actually really easy to do.
Yeah, that's a. It's more of a shortcut for anyone who runs this game for a week. It's so handy and so easy. The execution is basically you hug the rock on the left and you jump whenever you get close to the crack between the rocks, and bam, it's easy clap. So DK getting close to Shadows. Did any of them get the shortcut? I don't think so.
Neither of them did.
Neither of them died, so neither of them did. So if they die to Shadows, they're gonna have to do all this run again. Which is about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's quite the run, quite the long run.
Yeah. Shadows is one of the biggest run killers.
Yeah, if not the biggest.
Yeah, because it's a 2-minute run to Shadows after already running to Shadows and dying to it.
So you see DK open the fight with R1, L1 to build some beast meter, trying to hit as many of the Shadows as possible. And he already got the mage to half health. This actually started out pretty well for him. Going a little ham on the katana guy. They're about to transform. One Shadow down. Fight's going really well for DK. KC also approaching the fight right now.
You want to be careful. One of them has a mace and shoots fireballs. One of them breathes fire and it has a katana. The other one has a katana and something else.
Very good fight for DK.
Yeah, that was really good. You have to be careful that you are aware of your surroundings because you can be blown out.
KC as well on a very good pace for the fight. Probably even faster than DK.
Yeah, they both got really good Shadows.
Really nice. Absolute class from both runners. GG. Yeah, so right now really DK's approaching the Lunarium Key Skip, found again by this hex. Ooh, and he gets hit. Oh so man, that's
quit out here.
And he has to quit out to actually perform the skip. So that skip, you take advantage of the convenient positioning of the big bug right there, so you can get a boost from his tail and get over the railing. And that's why it's called Lunarium Key Skip, because you don't have to run inside the building to get the key. Let's see if KC gets it. KC does not get it, so he's gonna quit out as well. Having a hard time with it.
Yeah.
And DK finished. DK had really low HP because he got hit by one of the fireballs. And actually, if he didn't have the hunter set, the full hunter set, and I think you survive it with 12 vitality, he would have died, and it would have been really, really, really long run.
Yeah.
Run back to the Lunarian Key Skip. So here, DK killing the spiders, so they don't destroy him later on. Really easy with the bolt paper, really handy.
The real boss here isn't the big spider; it's the little spiders. That's really what it is. You want to kill all
every
the
single
spiders?
spider you can't see on your screen. Those are that's the real boss.
Yeah.
So right now, there's a set combo you do to cancel Rom's teleport, like you saw DK just do. I think that's a 2-hit. Really nice. So what you're seeing here is the runner is guiding himself with the moonlight to see where the spiders are where Rom is gonna spawn. And you see he didn't have to look for Yarnum Quinn, because turns out there's a very specific spot close to the first set of spiders that spawn after Rom teleports. You can get an instant teleport if you just stand there. It's not really known why.
Cool.
And Casey also gets the insta warp. Watches a little bit of the cutscene right there. All is good. Both runners with very good paces right now. Very few mistakes and good fights.
So BK, he's getting the Upper Cathedral Ward key, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
And so is Casey. They are currently in Yahargul. When they got taken by the Bagman, I believe they're called Snatchers. They were teleported to a different area of Yahargul, and now that they've killed Rom, a lot of the enemies have changed and things open up.
Yeah, doors have opened, things have changed, the moon changed.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to look at the moon after defeating Rom, it'll be all red.
Yeah.
And ominous.
And DK approaching the Yahargul skip right now, which very handy skip. Skips, I don't know, 1.5 minutes of run for Yahargul. I really don't know. But it's quite a bit. DK getting it first try. YOLO. Yeah. Oh my God, we have a champ here.
So what DK did was he did a charged R2 attack a specific distance away from the gate or the railing there, and it clips him in to the railing, and then they fall down and skip majority of Yahargul.
KC also getting it first try, but
he's not
having to quit out, otherwise he would got shot on the back and launched down. But he should be able to get it just fine with a gesture. And if you've ever played the Souls series, you know that there are gestures. In this game, however, and I think in Dark Souls Remaster as well, you can trigger gestures by motion sensor on your controller, which sometimes can
hurt you.
Can hurt you a lot. You hear stories about gestures killing runs so often.
Or if they die, you might see them get frustrated, and you'll just see them randomly emote something because they're holding X down and shaking their controller.
Yeah. So DK just got one of the 18% gems that Frame Fashion said. Fashion Frame, I'm sorry. I was
fine.
I was confused the F.
Just call me Fashion, it's fine.
Alright. So yeah. one of the 18% gems that was guarded by one of the dogs. That dog can be vicious. So KC challenging the one Reborn right now, which can be a scary fight, but more often
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just hope that the people shooting fireballs at you don't.
I think after this stagger, he should be fine. This should be cake for him right now. Yep. So what he does is, one Reborn is not a beast, but he has limbs. So what we do is stagger his limbs and take advantage of the position he stays after a limb is broken. His body is exposed, the upper part of his body, and that takes more damage. So you're gonna see them going ham on the body part. KC, since he has a further upgraded weapon, he has a +5 right now, while DK only has a +4. He's staggering the limbs much easier and also dealing quite significant damage. Both fights very good.
Very good, very textbook.
They didn't... pretty clean. They didn't get fireballed or corpse dropped. Whoops. Which is something really annoying. You can really mess up a limb staggering cycle if you get hit by fireballs. Both runs neck and neck right now. This is really good so far.
So they're now entering the Nightmare of Mensis, and everyone's favorite boss, Mikolash. You just gotta hope that you don't get what they call Mick Tyson, like Mike Tyson's punched out.
Oh yeah. And Casey getting hit by the blob, dude. I haven't seen that in a while. That is actually pretty rare.
Yeah.
Things that only happen during races, boys.
Yeah, Mikolash does this attack where he's basically a judo master, and it's not fun.
You're talking about Kabion?
Yeah, there's actually some pretty cool strats for fighting Mikolash that they'll do.
Yeah, we're gonna see them pretty soon if everything goes right. KC distracting the Silver Beast right there to be able to kill the lizard safely. So right now they're on the part of the game where they're already collecting chunks to upgrade their weapon from plus is it +6? I think it's +6 until +9. Yeah, that's it. So right now they're gonna get a +A weapon for Mikolash, and they're gonna equip the gems they got in Yahargul, and unequip the gem they use for Parl because it is no longer needed. And also, if you're wondering why they killed the doll, it's because it's faster. It's not because they're monsters.
And the doll comes back to life every time, so it's not like
she's fine. She's fine. Don't worry about her. So right now, KC meeting for the first time in the game the frenzy mechanic. You wanna explain the frenzy mechanic, Fashion?
Yeah, so frenzy is like bleed mechanic in Dark Souls. Only it can build up without anything touching you, which is really kind of crappy. Basically, once the bar fills up all the way, you lose a large portion of your health, sometimes even killing you, depending on
80% of your health, I think.
Is it 80% of your current health or 80% of total health?
Of our total health. I believe it's 80%. Could be 70. It's a really obscene amount. Either way.
It's something huge and pretty crazy and bad, and
not fun at all.
Yeah, it's if you do this section casually, you'll be really frustrated by the frenzy mechanic, as nothing's touching you, nothing's around you, and you'll still die.
Okay, DK going for the godsend pellet right there. Any percent Amelia skip runners know that pellet very well. Because on any percent current patch, you would actually be short on 1 pellet. And you already do Mikolash with 1 pellet, which is super tight. But that pellet saves the run. That is the godsend pellet. So right now they're approaching Mikolash boss arena. And Mikolash is a little annoying because you can either save or lose 15 seconds purely based on RNG, at least with our current knowledge of the game, because he can either run straight forward or enter the boss, enter the arena where you would normally fight him with the puppets and all that stuff. And we really don't know a way to manipulate that RNG. Hopefully one day we will. Well, DK got the straightforward run.
Which RNG is better?
The best is for him to run straight into the boss arena. Not the boss arena.
The one that kcsmurf just got.
Yep, KC with luck. So theoretically, he is already with a 15-second advantage over DK's.
Just solely
fight.
Based on RNG. No skill.
Which is a little unfortunate. So we always hope both runners get the best out of the fight.
Yeah.
So you see them fighting Mikolash on the corridor outside the room, because that allows them to corner him and just go ham on him, because he always spams the same attack pretty much. Sometimes he's gonna stay idle and not do anything, which is honestly more scary than him actually using Augur of Libertas. It's pretty concerning. You don't know whether you attack or if you wait for the tentacle. So now both runners approaching the second part of the fight. Oh, DK got the good RNG on this part. Not risking it to not wake up the puppet. Oh, doesn't get. Oh, that is unfortunate. DK wasn't able to block him, which I believe KC's going to. Yeah, that's true. KC got it. So that is about 40-second time loss. A very unfortunate time loss on a very serious run.
You want to?
Oh my god!
What happened?
DK gets the dodge. Oh man, that is scary stuff.
KC, well, I mean DK is a very good runner, and he's doing very well with.
Oh my god, the second time!
Unlucky.
Oh, he lives!
Oh.
That is a Monka shake right there. And he gets it again! What a god.
Again.
What is Mikolash doing? Oh man, that was a nerve-wracking fight for DK.
If you lose that fight, it's like 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah, both of them got the elevator, so it wouldn't be as damaging. But that right there was a Monka shake, my people. Oh my god. I don't think I would have survived that. I would have choked.
DK is extremely good at what he does. So is KC.
Yeah, I firmly believe both of them have gone through that situation multiple times. Everyone has.
He is currently coming up upon the third and final gem that they'll get. These guys are Winter something or other.
Winter Lanterns.
Winter Lanterns. And they look at you and they proc frenzy, and it's really gay, and if they grab you, you're pretty much dead.
Can't say that.
Sorry. So, yeah, you pretty much...
KC not getting the best RNG with the brain ladies. That's how we casually call them. Let's see what DK gets.
Hey, Hypnotic GD, kcsmurf's personal best is 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 4, I believe, and the DreamKing's personal best is 1 hour, 15 minutes, and something seconds.
22 seconds.
22
so
seconds.
KC had to quit out there to get away from the Winter Lantern's hug, which is a very painful hug.
And the DK was able to escape that, and looks to be ahead again.
So really hard to tell if anyone's ahead right now because they both lost time. I think KC is still ahead because the quit out only loses him RTA, not in-game time. And DK had a really critical time loss from the Mikolash fight. So DK here is approaching the pig section of Nightmare Mantis, which without a blue elixir, which is an item that makes you less visible for enemies, so they don't aggro from their normal aggro range pretty far close. That area is pretty spooky. And they also got one of the, I think that's a 15% gem, the last gem they're gonna get. And also chunks to upgrade to +9 after Murgo's Wet Nurse.
This next boss is technically the last boss in any percent run. So after this, you can go and be done with the game. Unfortunately, these guys have to deal with all the rest of the bosses.
Or fortunately for all of us.
Yeah, fortunately for us, unfortunately for them. Murgo is one of those bosses that you pray and hope that she doesn't do her nightmare phase, because it's a good 40-second time loss.
But actually, the nightmare phase, which is how we call the attack the Wet Nurse summons clone, you can actually dodge that attack if you time it properly.
Yeah, that is true. There's a certain action cue you can do that'll cancel out of the nightmare phase.
DK getting a pretty good fight, and Murgo's Wet Nurse is down. Both of the runners getting good fights.
KC's getting plus too. Murgo.
Very, very good fights.
So they're waiting around right now because it takes a while for the baby to stop crying and for them to be able to proceed. So they get to relax, take a sip of water and stuff while they're waiting for Nightmare Slane to appear.
Yeah, both really good fights. And now they're gonna head to, at least I'm sure KC. KC's heading to Amygdala. DK probably is as well. That's normal. That's the normal order. Yeah. The way I know KC is heading to Amygdala is because he took off his chest piece, and that's gonna allow him to see where he's standing on the upcoming skip found by Denk Oyster, if I'm not mistaken. It's a really, really handy skip that is really inconsistent without quitting out of the game. And we're gonna see it in just a bit. Also, DK.
I'll be right back.
DK choosing not to do lecture hall skip, a very, very loved skip between Souls runners, between Bloodborne runners. Very consistent, all skill. Found again by this hex. And is the skip KC is attempting now. Saves roughly 15 seconds. KC gets it first try. Not first try, third try. Sorry. And he's still gonna save a little bit of time here. Or be even. But both runners approaching Nightmare Frontier to face Amygdala.
Yeah, the lecture hall skip, I believe after the 4th or 5th time, it's just faster to run around and do it the intended way.
You already lost the
time it would have saved.
So here is the Nightmare Frontier skip, which turns out to be super easy quitting out of the game. If you try doing this when you don't quit out, you have a really, really low chance of getting it. I believe Distortion 2 attempted this for 200 times and only got it once for his segmented run. Which is not very good.
No.
Not very good percentage of success.
And it's another one of those skips where you use a gesture to
Yes, that's true.
a lot of the
However,
map.
there is a setup way where you can do a charge R2 instead and get the same skip.
But there's also a chance with the charge R2 skip that you get stuck in the rocks and you get stuck in the rocks when you load in.
So DK already fighting Amygdala, and if you thought this boss was hard in your first playthrough, you're about to see some magic.
It goes down in 7 hits.
Bye.
Yeah, it's really easy with the strat that they use.
Probably one of my favorite strats on the run. Really consistent.
It's mine too, because once I learned how to do that, I never went back to doing it any other way, casually.
Yeah, so no going for arms, trying to stagger them. All 7 hits. So both runners did not make many mistakes so far. I think KC committed the least mistakes, because DK had that Mikolash fight.
Yeah.
So I think he's ahead, but visually
I think they're still pretty neck and neck.
Yeah, that is for sure.
They are.
It's everyone's game so far.
Yeah, it's still anyone.
So now the routes are a little different, but I think they're doing things on switched orders, which doesn't really make a difference. So DK is going to kill Cleric Beast right now, and Casey is going to the back of Yosefka's clinic to get the second 1/3 of umbilical cord, which again we used to summon the last fight, the Moon Presence fight.
DK is going to the optional boss I mentioned earlier. It's one of the first bosses you can play, but since these guys are so strong with +8 weapons and the gems and everything,
melt them.
It's 6 or 7 hits is all it takes to kill this boss. And I know
so
I had
if you struggle with this boss in your first playthrough, just
and then you can
wait around.
Watch this and be happy that it's getting its punishment. 6 hits.
Very good. So now I believe DK is going to do what KC is doing right now, which is going to the back of Yosefka's clinic. There is a skip you can do to go from almost the beginning of when you start running to inside of this cave, but KC decided not to go because you can actually soft lock and be stuck on an infinite fall. Or no, I think you can only get stuck. I don't think you can soft lock there. I think I'm thinking of another one. But yeah,
kcsmurf, after he gets the Kanehurst summons and the second 1/3 of umbilical cord, which there are actually 4, because we can math.
Yeah.
After that, he's gonna go do Cleric Beast just like DK did.
So as you see, DK is going the same path KC did previously. They're going to get more pellets, of course, to use on the later bosses. KC, ooh, that was close.
That brain sucker.
Getting grabbed by that brain sucker is no bueno. But right now it's all good. Yosefka is a little calmer than she would be if you went to this area before Rom. She's now just laying on the table, just waiting for
pregnant.
You to yeah,
for you to kill her while she's pregnant.
To put her out of her misery, which both of the runners are going to do. So this is a very running around the route. It's kind of a breather because they're gonna have some nasty fights later on. So you see KC killing Yosefka, fake Yosefka. I don't know. I really don't know the lore. I think that's safe, fake Yosefka.
The lore is that Yusefka, who was originally there, was administering contaminated blood because she used to be a priestess, and somehow it turned her into the blue alien dudes that you're going to see here soon. But if you send people there playing casually, you can send players to either Cathedral Ward or Yusefka's clinic.
That is true.
If you send players there, they become blue aliens as well. So the church sent a replacement Yusefka, quote unquote, that was impregnated by the Great Ones, which are like the celestial beings of the lore.
DK did not have the same luck. Did not have the same luck as Casey. He got hit by the brainsucker, but thankfully he was already on the ladder, climbing it up, and did not have a worse fate. So as we said, KC now approaching the Cleric Beast fight, which is gonna be similar to DK, not be 6 or 7 hits. He's equally as strong with his beloved Saw Spear. Is KC's PB with the Saw Spear?
I believe so.
That was nice. That was nice. So right now, DK is gonna head to Upper Cathedral Ward. Lair of Celestial Emissary and Ebertus.
Oh, just to clarify, his PB is with Cleaver.
Cleaver, alright.
So no, it's not with Sawspear, but I mean, Sawspear is for the classic people, you know.
Yeah. So again, for those who joined it later, you don't see a timer above the theDreamKing's screen because he's streaming directly from his PS4, and there is no way to capture the live split. And right now I believe both runners are gonna go to Upper Cathedral Ward. 113 with Spear, that's very good. Because that means to do Series Skip, so...
We will be doing the DLC, although there will be no Chalice dungeons in all bosses.
Yes, this is all bosses.
If you're playing casually and you're debating on whether to get the DLC, I highly recommend it. It is one of the best Soulsborne DLCs, and it's definitely worth the money. It adds it almost doubles the number of weapons, and it's just amazing.
So did a very good content, arguably the best content from
Soft very arguably the best
ever put out there. So right now,
plus it has second best waifu in the game. So.
Because Eberta is the best.
Yeah, Everetus is the best waifu.
So now
if anyone tells you otherwise, they're wrong.
DK approaching the bridge on the Upper Cathedral. That can be very tricky to get past those guys, but DK got it pretty smoothly. KC opted on using the blue elixir, which again makes you less visible to enemies, and that shortens their aggro range. So right now, remember when both runners got the threaded cane at the beginning of the run? It's because of this upcoming skip called Orphanage Key Skip. Again, found by this hex, I believe. And you basically skip going around the orphanage to kill that alien. and you just kill him through the door. Because doors are just a concept for Miyazaki.
Yeah. That's why you get the threaded cane, so you can hit him and then pull him closer.
You can also perform the same thing with the unfolded saw cleaver, but that's pretty precise and there's really no reason to risk. And also with the Kirk hammer. Which
I know you can do it with the Kirk hammer.
After Cleric Beast.
Yeah.
So right now both runners are approaching Celestial Emissary. Just arguably one of the easiest bosses on the run. Can still have unfortunate things happening. But both runners should be fine. Worth mentioning, they both landed the Orphanage Key Skip very well.
So these are the blue alien things I was talking about earlier. You'll see more of these to come. And it's one of those bosses where you have a bunch of enemies, but only one is the true boss. And we're gonna beat this guy up so fast he won't get a phase 2 where he normally transforms.
Going for the YOLO fight, I believe. I wasn't really looking at his screen, did he?
Yeah, he just went ham on it.
Damn, that is a pretty considered time save. DK opted of killing the ads, which is safer, but KC just went down there, is going for business.
And now here's the best waifu.
Best girl.
Yep. Aberratus.
If also that is one of the bosses that if you had problem on the first playthrough, avert your eyes because you're gonna be disgusted.
This boss, these guys make it look so easy. Like
mollywop. Ebert does.
Yeah. It makes Aberratus look like you're beating up a child.
Both runners get the correct hits, and Ebertus is piece of cake.
So the reason this works is because when Aberratus goes into phase 2, she lays down and charges up something, and you can just wail on her and then she dies.
She receives additional damage to her head, which is the most exposed part when she's charging up her third phase, I believe.
Yeah.
The arcane phase of the fight. So both runners now are going to get grabbed and get to the DLC, which is probably why most of you guys are here, because some of the best fights of the run are in the DLC.
Yep, that's the amygdala, one of many that you beat up. Well, it's the one that you beat up earlier.
Yeah.
It takes you to the DLC. The DLC looks very similar to Cathedral Ward, only it says Hunter's Nightmare. And as soon as you step outside of Cathedral Ward, you'll see that it's very different than what you were used to.
They picked up the Eye of a Blood Drunk Hunter to access that DLC. Otherwise, they would just take damage and be teleported to, I think, the back of Cathedral Ward. A little further back from where they're grabbed. So DK buying the throwing knives.
Yeah. So it looks like I think they both bought them, didn't they?
I believe so.
Yeah, they're both going to cheese one of the hardest bosses in this game.
Yeah.
We'll get to later.
Also, both of them getting their saw cleavers and saw spears to +10. Which is the max upgrade you can get in this game. So all the damage they're gonna do right now is damage until the end of the run. And now it's running to Ludwig, which can be tricky sometimes. With some quit out strats found by Nems38, made it a little easier.
Nems is actually in chat. I saw him a minute or two ago, so shout out to Nem for finding the strat. Another good speedrunner. Speedrun's lost stuff. But
now we're going to pick up the eye pendant, which is required for you to fight, not to fight, to access the surgery balcony, something like that, to then go up to the research hall. So you'll see a big boy right there. A little cleric beast-ish monster, but he is asleep. So we are already on the last half of the run, pretty much.
There's probably less than 30 minutes left in this run, guys.
After the DLC, they only have 4 more bosses, including German and Moon Presence.
Yeah.
So we are close to wrapping up. Not very close, but...
So DK is gonna stop up here. And the reason he's stopping here is he's going to wait for these enemies to come out of that hallway there, just so he doesn't have to, so he can run around them. He doesn't have to run through.
Yeah. KC did the same thing, but by grabbing one of the twin shards that are closed there, and that gives him the about the same window that DK had. And so he didn't really have to wait still.
Yeah. They
right now they're
using a little
using
elixir here because these flea tick things spit poison, and poison is very bad. If you've never played a Dark Souls game, you'll find that out. Also, this ladder is very hectic if you don't have the blue elixir, because there's a hunter that deals a lot of damage, and he can actually shoot at him, and not satisfied, he can use his beast cutter to hit you when you're already like meters high. So I believe DK is gonna get the lamp just in case the Ludwig fight goes wrong with something KC is not doing. So KC going no fear. Going no fear, no shame. like he was saying. True meter north. And right now, if everything goes right, this guy's gonna melt Ludwig. Ludwig, lore-wise, used to be one of the original hunters. Oh boy! He went crazy, and fight just got a little interesting for KC. Yeah, he didn't get got the phase change, but a little finicky. Does not get good RNG, but he's going to stagger Ludwig very easily. Worth mentioning, DK also not very good strat, and they both made Ludwig piece of cake, and he is no mas. No mas pantalones. Also, one of those bosses a lot of people struggle on the first playthroughs. I still struggle. Oh my god, Ludwig. Oh my god. I think I put down a game for like a month because of that guy. Yeah. It was not pretty. It just makes me sad that they can run this so fast and beat these bosses and make it look so easy. Yeah, but behind... Oh my god, I thought that was just a jump, okay? But behind all those strats that are thousands of hours of practice. Yeah. These guys did not... they did not were just born knowing how to play with Bloodborne. So right now they're going for the Lawrence School, which is something I thought they would do later on, but I guess the strats changed. Yeah, the strats changed. It's normally after, right here. Alright, yeah, that's cool. Then they'll put out, or go back to the dream. Yeah, I believe they both do it. I believe it's standard now to do it this way. I see. Again, I could be wrong, but... Yeah, I haven't been very up to the most recent Bloodborne strats because I was banned from PSN. I can't run the game. But that's another story.
So right now,
don't like anime on PSN.
Yeah.
You'll get me. That's the moral of the story.
Friendly reminder that anime is a crime.
Yes.
Anyway, both runners going through the research hall right now. Very hectic place, playing casually and without a blue elixir. And DK is not gonna use a blue elixir because he's gonna do a quit out strat, also found by Nims, that basically makes the AI of the enemies shut down and you can just go past them like it's nothing. And very, very consistent as well. Not really any risk on doing that.
KC shoots the hunter with the gun there because the gunner will shoot a machine gun at you and it'll cost you time and.
Oh, DK actually got hit there, but I don't think that's normal. But you could see both of the guys on the back. They were just standing still. They didn't do anything.
I believe
it was just one vial worth of a hit. Also, he's opting to use the blue elixir right now, probably to avoid the bigger guy here, because he's very scary. I've lost countless runs to this guy.
This place is super confusing as a casual player because the stairs move up and down and left and right and stuff.
Yeah.
So it can be super confusing your first time.
KC going into the living failures fight, which can be very easy or can be very hard. Let's see which of the two he's gonna get.
The strategy is to kill the first living failure and then stand right where kcsmurf is standing and just basically spawn kill the living failure.
You're just farming failures right now. Just doing Gardner's job. DK also approaching the fight as we speak. Ace getting really good RNG. The caster back there did not shoot any single warp. What is this? What is this god tier RNG? I am shook.
And now here it's time for True Meter North. KC is going to quit out here. And by doing so, he's going to preserve his beast meters stack for the very next boss that he's coming up to, which is second best waifu, Maria.
And he's basically just gonna start the fight dealing obscene damage. The fight wasn't really that bad without the pellet manipulation, but True Meter North, I don't know that reference.
I'll send you the reference later.
Alright. So DK also killing failures.
Yeah.
He's gonna also
take the lamp
for the exact same.
He's gonna take the lamp.
Yeah. So Casey fighting Maria right now, and the strategy here is R1 L1 to stagger her and hope that she doesn't do a strong attack, which is very annoying. Deals a lot of damage if you get hit with the Maria with a double backstab.
Yeah, Maria is one of the best
fights,
I think, in Bloodborne. It's very technical. It's very fun, even casually, and it's just an amazing fight to do.
KC putting Maria to rest right now. Very good fight. Easy clap. No problemo. And DK starting the fight right now. Also getting quite a bit of backstabs. Maria's not being kind to them.
Yeah.
Getting strong attacks. I believe DK is gonna be able to get a couple more hits as she's phase transitioning.
Yeah, the first phase she attacks normally. Second phase she adds blood damage, pure weapons, and they have an increased area of effect. Third phase, she adds fire and blood, you know, because that's just cool.
And DK puts Maria to sleep as well. Very good fight for both runners. Right now, KC running through the fishing hamlet, which is very challenging area of the game that we're playing casually. Using a blue elixir.
Yeah.
For the...
We're going to skip a large section of this upcoming area by doing a quit out glitch. And it'll basically take us straight into our next and arguably hardest boss of the run.
Is he going for the lamp? Safety measure? Because the next boss, everyone's favorite. Is your boy Orphan.
Yep. So he's gonna quit out here, and the basically when he loads back in, he's going to be clipped through the rock, and he'll be 10 feet away from the boss entrance.
Yeah. That actually is called a slope quit out, which is when you quit out on a slope, and that works for, I believe that works for even in Dark Souls.
DK got hit.
Yeah, DK got hit on the way. This could be tricky, but I think it's fine.
He should still be fine.
So what Casey did was out of bounds skip to get inside the Orphan Cave. And right now, if you're a casual player watching this, now it's the time to get truly disgusted.
Casey's going to cheese him too. So what happens is by doing a very
don't think he is. Casey fighting Orphan legit.
Oh.
So the legitimate fight it is faster if you get the right RNG. But if you don't, then you open possibility for a lot of time loss, because this guy can controls you quite a bit. KC, however, managing the fight really well. And I think it's game right now. I think KC
has it.
Yeah, definitely. After this one, Orphan's dead. GG. Bueno. Yeah. Casey, absolute class against Orphan. Very good job. DK just performed the same slope quit out for the skip, and now he's gonna approach Orphan, and he is gonna cheese the Orphan of cost. So really good strat.
To choose Orphan, all you have to do is basically parry his attack, which it's not looking good. You parry his attack, and then you throw any item at him. So it could be a pebble, it could be a throwing knife, and
any item that deals damage.
Yeah. What it does is it resets the AI, and so Orphan will just stand there for a bit until you take enough damage, or
until you stagger him. You basically stagger him out of this state.
And then you just rinse and repeat, and it's very safe, and I believe it's pretty consistent.
It is.
But it does take longer than if you get the good RNG and fight him normally.
Yeah. DK got a pretty tough start for this fight.
But
by
it looks like
not being able to backstab the opener, but he's fine right now. One last parry. The disrespect throwing knife, and Orphan is dead. So
freezes like
deathless runs for both of the runners so far. Apart from the Ahargul death. It's a deathless run. And Casey right now
fighting cleric beast number 2.
Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence.
and he got a little. He was a little short on range for the first stagger, but let's see how this fight plays out. Shouldn't have much of a problem. I think he can stagger him here again. Yeah. This fight nowadays is super consistent. Now he just has to deal with a little third phase RNG, which KC, absolute class. Puts Lauren to sleep again. And now he's gonna approach the very end of the run, while DK is gonna approach Lawrence to hopefully get an equal or better fight. So where KC is going right now is to Hemwick to fight Witches of Hemwick. Friend of mine had an unfortunate run loss to Witches. A pretty good run. He almost cried. So yeah, on the wrong circumstances, Witches can kill your run.
That's a good question. Can KC find Ligarius?
Yeah,
that is the real question here.
KC gonna go to Ligarius afterwards, and DK getting the stagger on Lawrence. Everything looks fine so far. It's gonna go for the arm stagger, gets it, and again, pretty much same fight. Just gonna have to deal with a little of third phase RNG right here, but DK should pull it off just fine. This is a scary attack. DK dodges it and should be. Oh, this is again Lawrence wasting. Oh my God! He thought he had it, and now that's spooky. Oh my dog!
Oh.
And he's dead.
Okay, he got it. He got it.
A little of a nerve-wracking ending right there, but yeah. DK manages to pull it off. The caster curse did not happen.
Commentator's curse. Let's curse KC.
No. Hopefully we don't curse either of them, because this is looking like a very close race. We can't really tell because they quit out on different times, so the RTA is gonna be a little different. I believe KC is a little ahead.
KC is a little ahead.
It's everyone's game still.
Yeah, one
happens. Witches. Yeah. Ligarius has killed many good runs.
German and Moon Presence can make a break this run too.
Also tricky fights. DK getting the PB jump right there. Famous PB jump. This run is now blessed. KC going through Hemwick, approaching the fight. Opts for using a blue elixir to avoid the dogs, because those dogs can be vicious. DK also making his way to Hemwick.
So, just a little fun fact about these two runners. KC has an amazing voice for radio. DK has a cat that likes to eat mics, his microphones and stuff.
So right now, first witch is gone already. And the second witch as well.
Again, another one of those bosses where you think you've killed it, but surprise, another one pops up that you have to kill. I wonder if KC will do the barrel.
Oh my God, KC getting Is he joining the party right there? He had people waiting for him. But no, he opted not doing the barrel strat. The barrel strat's actually pretty good because it de-aggroes those dogs, and like I said, they're vicious.
Yeah.
You can really...
Miyazaki's dogs must have been horrible. He must have had like a horrible childhood growing up. He must have been mauled by one or something, because the dogs are the worst part about any game he makes.
Yeah.
So I'm not just talking Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne. Kingsfield and some other games of his are horrible.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the next From Software game to have exclusively boss dogs. I mean, boss dog souls.
Watch us play as one of the dogs in the next From Software game.
Which one?
We'll for the next From Software game, we'll probably be playing as dogs.
Oh, well, we would be OP then. I wouldn't complain.
No, we'll be playing the dogs that people hunt, and we have to run away from them.
Oh no.
Yeah. So they are at Casey is at Canehurst Castle right now, where he's trying to look for Ligarius. You can only get there by getting the Canehurst summons, which he got in Yusefka's clinic when he went through the back door and killed Yusefka, fake Yusefka.
So right now DK also finishing up the Witches fight, and oh man. Alright, he got it.
Yeah.
It did not meet an unfortunate fate. Like some have. Don't know who, don't remember their names. Anyway.
So KC is coming up upon a skip. I guess you call it a skip. You basically...
it's a minor skip.
You run up these stairs and you jump on the railing, fall down in the bookcase, and yeah, that's the skip. It skips. How much time does that save? Do you know?
I really don't know, because I wasn't around when that skip wasn't used, and I don't even know if there was a time when it wasn't. So I really don't know. That's one of those things. That's one of those things like the
it's older than you've been
Forbidden
running.
Woods skip.
Yeah, it's been there forever.
So right now, DK also making his way to Canehurst Castle to fight Papa Ligarius. KC much closer to the fight than DK is. I don't know what DK is doing right there, but it's alright, it's fine. And Ligarius is a notorious war record run killer. This guy does not like record paces.
Let's see which opening KC gets. There's a good opening and then there's a bad opening. Let's see which one he gets.
Both really are fine, but the kind of dark bead one is kind of finicky. That one KC just got.
Yeah. Ligarius has 2, I think 3 phases total. During one of his phases, he gets the buff that all projectiles shot or thrown at him basically bounce off of him, and he can get some really funny effects with that.
Yeah. Casey got a really good fight.
Casey got an amazing fight there.
Managed the RNG he got very well, and is now heading for the second to last boss, which is Gehrman. Can be a very scary fight. Not inside dumping, which won't make much of a difference because only 13 inside, you don't really get much beast meter. It basically runs out as you you trigger Gehrman.
So with insight, it's a second form of currency other than the blood echoes that they use to buy like beast blood pellets and lightning bolt paper and stuff like that. But it also increases, if you have a lot of insight, it increases the rate at which you get frenzies. So that's a tip if you're running casually through Nightmare of Mensis. Don't have a lot of insight. It also decreases the duration of the beast meter.
Oh, KC actually managed to get the backstab. He was in a really weird position there.
Yeah, but he's having a good fight, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's a very good fight.
On the very end right now, just killed German, while DK is going to fight Logarius right now.
Let's cheer both these runners on in the last phase.
So KC right now fighting Moon Presence. Can be a tricky fight, and oh man, that is super unlucky. DK dies to Logarius, which probably cost him the race. That is very, very unlucky.
Even if Casey died right here, it still would probably be the race.
Yeah, that is a very...
That's a very long...
Oh, he got the shortcut, actually.
Did he?
But it's still a super...
still a long run back up and fight.
And while KC is done, finished with an RTA of 125.45. Pretty good.
Yeah, that was a really good run by KC.
1:15.21, very good time for a race.
Yeah.
Really, really good. GG's for kcsmurf.
That actually
DK not having a good time right there on the ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be better for him to quit out actually, but
Casey's time actually beat DK's PB by 1 second just now.
Yeah, so GG's for KC.
Good game,
very
KC.
Good run, man.
Let's root on DK here. He's also a really good runner.
DK had an unfortunate death. It's one of those times where you get hit once by Logarius and you just try to panic, dodge, and you just get roll caught or dodge caught, whatever, and it just goes south so quickly. He should have it now, and hopefully finish with another good time for a race.
Even though he took that death, he still is going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Especially in a race environment. He did a lot of things really well, even after getting some pretty bad RNG with Mikolash, and
managed some of the fights really well after unfortunate RNG.
Yeah.
So even though he died, still GG's for DK. Doesn't take a chance right there.
Yeah.
Should have it. Gary's running around a lot though. That was fortunate.
Follow kcsmurf on theDreamKing 91.
That's a classic.
As well as Mario over here, my co-commentator. They all speedrun various games, and they're all very good at what they do. So DK is on the last two bosses.
Yeah, just like KC, it's gonna do Airman and Moon Presence. Hopefully get the best out of the fights. And again, even though with the death, he is still gonna be able to finish with a pretty decent time. And again, if you joined it later, you might be wondering why DK doesn't have a timer. It's because he's streaming directly from his PS4, and therefore there's no way for him to capture live split. So DK McGarman fight is looking pretty good. That was a weird tag from Garmin. So he should transform now, and KC going for the backstab. Gets it.
I'm not sure if we touched on it, but the only way to fight the moon presence is to get 3 of the 1/3 umbilical cords.
That was a lot of damage.
All 3 of them as well.
Yeah, we mentioned a couple of times while they were going to get the cords. GG's. DK puts Gehrman out of his misery, and we're going to moon presence now. Let's watch a bit of the cutscene, because why not? DK should still finish with like a 1:18 time, I believe. Hell, it runs out, but right as soon as the fight starts, those are some weird attacks on presence. Don't do that.
Not getting any good RNG.
What is happening? Good shake, I can see.
Camera's going crazy.
This is gonna cost him some time. This is a really weird moon presence fight. She's doing all the weird stuff. This is one of those fights.
A very easy fight by the time you get to her.
Yeah.
So
you have to pray, because moon presence can be so easy, but sometimes she can just do what she's been doing to DK. GG's to DK as well. We're seeing some bets on DK's final time. Gets the souls, quits out.
1:19:23 is what I've seen. 1:19:48.
So let's see. Both of the runners. Very good runs, regardless of deaths.
Very good runs. Congratulations to both the runners. They deserve it.
KC 119.
What is that? I can't
13? I can't.
13?
Can see well on the. That's a 1:19:03 actually for KC.
That's good.
For DK. That is a very good time. Still a sub 80.
That's good.
I think we're gonna interview both of them and talk a little about the race. So I think as soon as they're able to, I'm gonna hop in here. Very, very good race. Basically all I was hoping for. Close till the end. Hello, KC. GG's on your victory. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Very solid run.
Yeah. Gascoigne was the shaky part, and I'm not gonna lie, I had the rebroadcast up, even though it was like 30 seconds behind. I saw DK get sewer skip. And I was picking up the saw spear, and but yeah, I'm really happy. I got a deathless run.
That was a really solid, man.
I think the only go ahead.
Really, the only shaky part for you was Gascoigne, and DK's right here as well. GG's DK.
Congratulations,
DK. Nice
Good
run.
job.
That's fun.
Both of your runs were really good. DK unfortunately had that death, and DK, what was that moon presence fight, man?
Oh my god, I don't even know.
That was so scary, man.
Actually, and like honestly, that's why I got so much of it. Was pretty much just for moon presence, because she was just so aggressive today.
Yeah, that is totally fair. She was doing the worst things to you, man.
Yeah.
But both of you finished with a really solid time. Casey with a really, really good time, and DK, regardless of death, still a very good time.
Yeah. For anyone that doesn't know, me and DK started running this game pretty much together, learned any percent together. So being matched up with him was just based on our PBs, but I'm really happy for him, and I'm really happy that he's the one that I got to race.
Yeah, it was really fun, dude.
Really, really awesome matchup. Really awesome runs.
It was really interesting to see the differences in the route. You guys diverged. DK went to Cleric Beast first, and you went to Yusuf's Clinic, Casey.
Yeah. I don't think there's a consensus on what's. I don't think it's either faster, but some people do Woods, some people do Cleric.
I don't think it makes much of a difference.
Saw Spear.
Yeah, and I also picked up the Saw Spear. Yeah.
Sell out.
And also the time save DK had from the sewer skip was gone because of Mikolash.
Yeah,
I saw that. DK.
That Mikolash fight was crazy.
What happened, man? I saw it.
I wasn't expecting him to be able to to get off, honestly.
He gave me half Swedish, but I tried to lock on to like try to shoot him to like make him turn around before he entered the room, and for some reason I just was either too far away or it wouldn't lock on. So
I don't really know what happened. And all those call peons, oh my god, that was nerve-wracking for everyone.
Garnham skip, so that didn't help.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that as well. That is true.
That didn't help either. But yeah.
At least I didn't die there. So
yeah.
So again, GG's to both of you. Very, very good runs.
Good commentating, guys. I had you guys going. I was going to listen to music, but Mario and Passion were too captivating. So
thank you.
Well, I
just listened to you guys the whole time.
So wait, Casey, can you confirm that we're going to see BL4 with you?
Yeah. So I am facing the #1 seed, which I'm sure everyone watching knows is Ivan. It's probably the best. Not probably. He's the best runner of this game. Has multiple world records, and he and I say we're buddies, and we agreed when this tournament was announced that if somehow we were to meet up, we would race blood level 4 against each other.
Oh my god!
So next week will be blood level 4 all bosses. Ivan has a 114. I have a 123. So he's 9 minutes better than me. He's 9 minutes better than me in that category.
So we're gonna see some interesting stuff right here next week, then.
Yeah. So keep watching the races, guys. This is awesome. Thanks again to Newbie for putting it on. I don't even know if he's still here, but those that are commentating, the Speed Gaming for hosting it. Yeah. This has been 2 days, and I already can't wait till Saturday. Saturday we have 2 more races, and then Sunday will be the last race of the first round. So
yeah, super awesome. Again, thanks Newbie for putting this together. The Speed Gaming crew.
Yeah.
Very nice of you.
Thank you, runners, for being willing to do this and for letting us commentate your runs. Really interesting.
Thank you for participating.
Really fun. Make sure you guys give kcsmurf, theDreamKing 91, and Mario a follow. They're both amazing runners.
So right now the brackets, like Casey mentioned, he's gonna face Ivan on round 2. Ivan currently the world record holder of all bosses, and I believe also 80% current patch.
And BL4, and BL4 80%.
And BL4,
he has all of them.
So right now DK is going for the losers bracket, but this is a double elimination tournament, so he still has a chance of turning this around and even taking the prize home. And I think that's it.
Very good. Anything else you want to say to the stream and chat?
No, just thanks for tuning in. We had 130 people here again tonight. I know this was weird hours for the European friends and such, but me and DK had to start late. But just a quick shout out. The next one will be, let me check. I was going to say, we don't have the channel, but Saturday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time in the United States will be Romanticor versus Chimera Yo. So Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in the States.
Yes, another race to look forward to. Both real talented runners.
The Stern God himself.
Stern Doge.
That's all I had to say. Thank you guys again for watching. Thanks, Mario, and you guys for commentating.
Thank you for running. GG again for victory. GG.
Good job, both
DK
of you. For the solid run as well.
Alrighty. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah. Later, everybody. Have a good night, everyone.
So we're hopping off. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thanks again for the Speed Gaming crew.
We'll see you next time.
And make sure to tune in on Saturday for Romanticor against Chimera. And have a good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.